I was talking fantasy football with my friends the other day.
Alan, Bravo,
Echo,
November,
Tango. On.
football.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Bent on Fantasy Football. We are back here in the dungeon. I'm excited. We had a great time out at Marco's. We'll get to that in just a minute. But I am your host, as always, Alan Bentley, and with me is my new co-host. We talked over the weekend and decided that Josh is going to be a permanent fixture on the show here. So my new co-host, Joshua Worley.
Yeah, thanks everyone for being here. Someone needs to keep him to task. So
Yep. So speaking of last Wednesday, we were at Marco's Vapor, and we had our live there. Now it was live on Facebook. It wasn't live on YouTube, but it was on Facebook. So what we found out is that in order to do a live on Facebook,
on YouTube,
I'm sorry, on YouTube, not on Facebook. Facebook, everything's backwards. That's what I was going to say. But on YouTube, in order to get a live, you actually have to have 1,000 subscribers. So we went back and we looked to see how many subscribers we have. We need your help, guys. We're a little bit short of that.
We got a new one
1,000.
today, actually.
We
So,
did. Okay,
yes,
awesome,
yes.
awesome. So fantastic. So we're up to 9 now, right?
Oh my gosh,
Because
yes.
we are at 9 total subscribers. That's the name of my beer for this week. So, Josh, if we're at 9 total subscribers, how many subscribers do we still need?
We need 991 more subscribers. And that's my beer this week.
991 to go. All right, perfect.
At this rate, we'll have 1,000 by the time our grandkids can host this show.
yes. Malaya, keep it in mind. Start thinking about football. All right, so as we always do every week, we want to have you guys join us and pop open a cold one, kick back, and enjoy the show.
First time in 5 weeks he remembered the crack the beer.
Oh, man, I was so thirsty. That's why. All right. So, a lot of cool stuff going on. We do want to thank everybody that showed up at Marco's Vapor and joined us for our live. Want to thank Marco and Curtis and the Anti-Chris, all the guys that we've seen, all the guys and gals we've seen out there at Marco's. And just say, hey, thanks a lot. We are looking at doing some more lives pretty soon. We're also talking about some other things we've got going on, and we'll get into that in the next few weeks. And coming up real soon, I've been promising you guys that you're going to see the dungeon. Now, you're gonna get a little tour of it in maybe a week or two. But what I'm going to start with is this right here.
Oh,
This
good
can go.
Lord.
That can go. We're doing something different with that. So, now we just got a blue wall behind us. But next week we'll have some stuff up there. I do also want to talk about one other thing that...
Oh, by the way, we also want to thank all the fans and our friends and family that came out to support us at Marco's as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, without you guys, we wouldn't be sitting here making idiots out of ourselves. On a
Speak
weekly
for
basis.
yourself there, Grandpa.
Oh, you would be here making an idiot? Okay, never mind. Anyway, but I do want to also talk about, at the beginning of the preseason, I said that I want to dedicate different parts of the season to different people from my past. So my next one is for the next 4 weeks, we'll say 5 weeks, is going to be my dad, Elmer Bentley. I'm dedicating the next 5 weeks to him. I lost him several years ago to a heart attack. So this is for you, Dad. All right. Now, last Wednesday, we had some stardom and situms.
We did.
That some we don't want to talk about, but some that we definitely need to, like it or not. So, Josh, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I think we had more misses than hits, in fact. But keep in mind, when we talk about our start and sit, we're not going to tell you guys to start Patrick Mahomes or start Devontae Adams. Right. Or sit the 4th string running back from the Houston Texans.
Right.
That's just too easy.
Right. So we want to give you guys, the whole goal behind this show is not only for us to have fun and get you guys engaged, but it's also to make sure that, you have all the resources you need So we're going to look at some of the things that are, like Josh said, there's certain players you're going to start every week, whether we tell you to or not. And if you don't, you're an idiot. So, I mean,
like Alan here most weeks,
right? Anyway, moving on. So we're trying to help you with the less obvious stuff. So, and we give you the advice. You take it and do what you will with it. But I think by the end of the season, you're going to find out that we help you out a lot. So
absolutely,
we're just two dudes sitting down talking about football, and that's what we always do. So we're bound to get it right sooner or later, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll go first then on our start and sits from last week, and my sit for running back, and this, like I said, goes against popular opinion. Najee Harris. Many people had him in the top 2 rounds. I took him in the 3rd round in our draft. I've seen him go as high as late 1st round.
Yeah.
What did he have? 5.1 points, I think, in a half-point PPR.
Yep, which is actually not horrible. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but he had a fumble at the end, near the end of the game though too.
Kind of skewed the numbers there a little bit.
Yeah. So, but yeah, not a bad day at all for him.
And I think he's going to be big this year. I really do. I know we're both high on him season wide. I think both offenses, though. We got together and we watched the games this past Sunday.
Yeah.
And we both agreed when we were watching that game, both offenses were just sloppy.
Yes, it was. And it's funny because we talked last season about the lack of preseason games and how teams looked really sloppy out of the gate because they didn't have those preseason games. Well, only they did have 3 preseason games this week, and they're still looking sloppy. So it's not a good sign. So,
absolutely.
And so then my first one, I guess, that my quarterback that I decided to put on my stardom list was Jalen Hurts.
And I didn't agree with you on that, and I will give you props. You actually you called it. So
well, and he had a good week. It was above average week. He had 264 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, which is always nice for the fantasy, and then 62 yards rushing. So not a horrible day. He actually performed better than I thought he would, or Josh thought he would. I kind of had faith in him. So yeah, that was not a bad pick.
Yeah, and I think that game, both of us, that wasn't on in our local area. That wasn't our local market game. But after watching the stats on, from drive to drive, that Atlanta team is much worse than I think either of us thought it would be.
Well, and we were saying that at the beginning of it, Atlanta's going to be horrible. We know this, blah 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 blah.
Their defense, at least, but their offense, I thought they would be prolific.
Yeah. Matty Ice has got some issues. That was probably his worst game. I've seen clips and highlights of it. Probably his worst game from a fantasy perspective. Just kind of pump the brakes on him a little bit. Kind of make sure that you hear some positive things coming out of practices because it's not really looking too good in Atlanta right now.
Absolutely. And that could be a product of the Atlanta poor offense, or it could be a product of Philadelphia's great defense.
Well, I don't
think it's a product of either, to be honest with you.
Well, I think it's a little bit of both, but not completely, one or the other. Okay. Well, then who did you have for that you wanted to talk about next off of your list?
Wide receiver, I really liked Corey Davis going into this week. And the whole reason behind that was, as we mentioned last week at the live show, what's that? You got a rookie quarterback on the road, playing against a Carolina offense, in my mind, who's probably one of the best offensive coordinators in the league with Joe Brady.
Oh, for sure.
I thought Jets were going to be down big, and throughout the preseason, Zach Smith. I just pulled an Allen there with my brain fart. But Zach Wilson built rapport with Corey Davis, and he's been looking better than he has in years. 97 yards, I believe. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but
he was just
touchdowns,
short of 100,
I think 7 receptions. So
so solid numbers for sure.
About 25 points. Now, keep in mind, we're not going to, when we say start sit, I didn't recommend starting Corey Davis over Devontae Adams or Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Again, these are fringe guys who, if you have no other option,
or if you're on the bubble, you're trying to figure out if it's going to be this guy or this guy, and you're on the bubble on which one. We're going to give you a little information. You do with it what you will. Maybe it'll help you out. So.
Yeah, and here's a funny story I want to bring up, Alan, because I told you about this Sunday. we're both huge on Ayuk this year. Okay, he didn't have a single catch,
not even a target. He didn't even get targeted. So.
I told Alan this Sunday morning when we started watching the games together with the chicken wings and the beer and everything.
Yeah.
At 7:15 on Thursday, I benched Ayuk, and who did I put in?
Oh, who was it? I don't remember.
Antonio Brown.
Yes, Antonio Brown. Yes.
And then you know what? I said, what the hell am I doing? 7:18, 2 minutes before the game was about to start, I put in Ayuk. I said, there's no way I can start this stud. Yeah. Brown scored 29 points. How many did Ayuk get?
Let's see. It was above 0, but below 0, so it was 0.
Yeah, it was equal to 0.
Right.
So I would have actually won that matchup had I have stuck with Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
but
and, that's the thing. And man, I say this time and time again, but yet I'm the worst person at doing this. When you second guess yourself, you're second guessing yourself probably to be wrong. But then when you double second guess yourself, you second guess yourself a second time, you're definitely wrong.
Absolutely.
So at that point, stop and eliminate both options and start all over. There's certain gut instincts that people that play fantasy football have, and that's generally one of them. And sometimes we don't even know it's our gut instinct. So really, really don't double second guess yourself, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's a thing, but don't do that. So
did you hit your head again, or?
Yeah, it hurts right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go to my next one, shall we? So on my stardom was Logan Thomas, who didn't have a huge day with targets. He was 3 for 3, 3 targets, 3 receptions. Had 1 touchdown, so he made his way along. Not a huge day, but a consistent day.
9 points in a PPR. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of these guys that I'm thinking is going to be progressing throughout the season. He's not going to be any one game or any string of games where he's going to be great. He's going to be a solid progression throughout the season.
Yeah, I do. I agree with you. The only thing that bothers me or concerns me with that is the Fitzpatrick injury. And we'll get into that a little bit later.
Man, yeah, that could be a whole show, that Fitzpatrick thing. But yeah,
but anyway. With Heineke or Heineken, whatever his name is, we'll all drink a Heineken to him. But Heineke in his quarterback, who knows what that offense is going to do? Yeah. It's
hard to say what It could go so many different ways. It's crazy. But we'll keep analyzing it or overanalyzing, I guess, as it were.
And those were some of our wins, but we did have a few misses / losses.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch our previous video, you'll see those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then, did you have another one that you wanted to talk about? There was one more, wasn't there? Or no?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Well, I did say Zach Wilson, along with Corey Davis. I thought. He put up a pretty good day. 258 yards, 260, right around there.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that really surprised me or really impressed me was no interceptions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only thing that kind of surprised me with that is he didn't have any rushing attempts. Mm-hmm. Okay. Zach Wilson is a mobile quarterback. I showed you some videos of him at BYU, remember? Mm-hmm. And you said, wow, this kid's got talent. Yeah. And in fact, in most years, had he not had the unluck of the draw coming out the same year as Trevor Lawrence, he would have been the number 1 pick for sure.
Yeah. And, he's got a good head on his shoulders. I think that's the big thing is we've always talked about how there's a learning curve going into the NFL coming from college, but it's how well you take that learning curve makes a huge difference in your progression. And I think he's got it up here. I think he's got enough smarts to be able to make that a smooth transition. May take a little bit of time, but it's a whole different world. So I can see why. But all 3 rookie quarterbacks that started yesterday had good games.
They did.
Yeah, that was the first time I seen a stat on one of, I think it was ESPN or something, that
should have been 4 rookie quarterbacks, by the way. It should have been Justin Fields Sunday night game. And we're bitter about that, but
I'm very bitter about it. I said by week 3, so I'm being patient. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. But it's again a whole nother show for me anyway.
Yes.
But anyway, so what do we got up next?
We're going to do our bent on fantasy football. What gets us bent? But I want you to go first because I really want to rant on mine. So.
Oh, okay. You want me to just give you mine, walk off, and come back in like 10 minutes?
No. It's not going to take more than a few minutes. But
I was going to finish this beer. All right. So what's got me bent? Actually, there's quite a few things that have got me bent about week number 1. Josh, the one that Josh is going to talk about has got me bent, but I'm going to let him talk about that one. But the big thing for me is, so I don't have cable TV, okay? I don't have your regular ESPN. I have other ways of seeing ESPN. But in my opinion, the NFL needs to spread the love a little bit when it comes to watching games. Having DirecTV have a kind of a chokehold on it, and then Verizon and Yahoo Sports, which is actually owned by Verizon, all of that, they have limited access to games, and they give you a little bit, and then they make you wait and wait and wait. So what's got me bent is how they distribute the games. I think there should be more access to more games on a weekly basis, and not just your big primetime games. That's what's got me bent.
Yeah, and in fact, we were watching the games together. You said it was the first time in history, right, where they had 2 games each on CBS and Fox.
Yep. And that would have been awesome if you could have had like a New York channel. We're in the Chicago market. If you're in the New York, or you can see what's in the New York market, you can get access to a whole lot more games. But I think even distribution of games, at least a little bit more would be better for the NFL. It'd be much better for the fans, and maybe not as good for in-house prices. I don't know, but we take the good with the bad, right?
Absolutely. And we watched 4 games.
Yep.
And that's nothing.
Right.
The most games we're going to get per week, unless we want to pony up hundreds of dollars, is 3.
Yep.
And that's just unacceptable.
Yeah. But anyway, that's what's got me bent. I'll work on my issues. I'll go get a tissue for my issue in a minute. But Josh, what's got you bent?
What's really got me bent, and this was the afternoon game on, I believe it was Fox, wasn't it?
Which one?
Saints and Packers.
Yep.
What's really gotten me bent is Aaron Rodgers. Okay? We both expected a big showing from Aaron Rodgers and that Packer offense. And I understand New Orleans really dominated the ball, on both sides. They really shut down that Packers offense. But every time before they would go to a timeout or they showed Aaron Rodgers on the sidelines, he wasn't reading playbooks. He was sitting there. He was disinterested, And by the time the Packer defense got on the field, one thing I noticed was, and Jameis Winston, yes, I said he was going to have a big year. He's not one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Right.
That defense was lackadaisical. And here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback. He's your team captain. And he really has to set the tone for the rest of that team. Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't care whether he's playing that game or not, it's going to rub off on your defense, and it really, really showed. I don't know if he stayed up too late watching the Divergent series or The Fault in Our Stars, the movies his wife is going to be, or the movies his wife was in, but he just wasn't there. It just doesn't show commitment. Now, us as NFL fans and fantasy fans, we deserve better, and as much as this pains me to say, Packers fans deserve much better.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let me preface this by saying that I am a diehard Bears fan, but I am not an anti-Packer fan, okay? So I believe in giving respect where respect is due, and Aaron Rodgers deserves a lot of respect. Now, that being said, I don't necessarily know what was going on in his head, obviously. I'm not that little voice in his head. But, there's something going on there. Whether it's something that he can work through, or whether they need to work through with he needs to work through with the team, or whatever it is, they need to figure it out. He's got at least one more season, and that's this season with the Packers. He owes that to the city of Green Bay to play up to his full potential. Now, I'm not saying he didn't, but if that's the case, if there's something that's keeping him from playing up to his full potential, he needs to get it out of his head. He needs to get past it and move on. Other teams are going to look at this and see what's going on, and they're not going to be as quick to jump on the bandwagon to get him when he's got things going on. It just doesn't promote a good image, and it doesn't promote good team atmosphere.
Yeah, and not only did he play bad, but he didn't seem to care that he played bad.
Yeah.
He just showed disinterest in the entire game as a whole, and that's what really gets me bent on fantasy football.
Now, and again, I'm not standing up for Aaron Rodgers or standing against him either way, but the comment that he made after the game in the press conference, it's only one game. It is only one game, but every game is important in the NFL. So that's really not an excuse. It's not a thing to brush it off. It's something that you got to take seriously and move past. So
Absolutely.
Okay, fair enough. I can see why you're bent on it.
I am really bent on that.
And generally when it comes to anything Packer, I'm bent on it too. So it's cool.
And we're both a little hurt on some injuries that took place this week.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
In the fantasy football world.
No kidding. Tell them about the one that's your big one.
Oh God, Jerry Jeudy. We are both super high on Jerry Jeudy this year.
Yeah.
And in fact, he had 7 targets, 6 receptions for 72 yards before he went out early.
Yep.
High ankle sprain. He's out 8 to 9 weeks. And I don't know what we're going to do about that. I mean, Cortland Sutton, you got Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick looked good. Yeah,
that Denver team is... again, I talked before about a house of cards with Dallas. It's even more so with Denver. Any little thing is a big shock to them. So hopefully they'll be able to pull it together and get another wide receiver to step up and just kind of keep the pace until Jeudy gets back. But yeah, that hurts.
That hurts, and I think the defense is going to be the only thing really keeping them in games.
Yep.
Without Jeudy.
Yep.
The second one. And this hurts a lot because I argued with Alan quite a bit about the Christian McCaffrey not wanting to take number 1. Because Alan has this fantasy view that you fool me once, you're done.
Yep.
Like Christian McCaffrey did, like Zeke did after Dak went out. Raheem Mostert. I loved him last year. He had a huge breakout season in 2019. He's electric. He hurt me last year, after having 2 to 3 huge games.
Mm-hmm.
I drafted him again this year in the 5th round, which probably was a little early, and many people told me that. He looked electric. He had 2 carries, 11 and 9, averaging 10 yards a carry, and then what happens? He gets hurt again.
Mm-hmm.
He gets hurt again. Sorry, not get hurts again. That's Jalen Hurts. But I will say this. After this year, Alan, I think I'm going to unsubscribe to your thinking. Mostert's done for me after this. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
That's 2 years in a row. But Mostert's going to be out about 8 weeks. I just got a text from a source of mine that says he's out for the season. I can't confirm nor deny that.
But yeah, either way, it doesn't look good. It's and I'm not going to say anything about Mostert. I will say that it's going to hurt, and it's going to hurt a lot of fantasy teams too. Well, if you go check out our website, we are going to be fully launching that at the beginning of week 2, and we will have a page on there where you can actually look at some possible guys you might be able to pick up, some possible free agents that may or may not be available in your league, but some suggestions. Some of the deeper stuff, hopefully, if I can get that put up. But anyway, so check it out. But yeah, it's that's a tough one, man.
Like Tony Soprano said to his mother, "You're dead to me, Mostert. You're dead to me."
Yeah. By the way, our website is bentonfootball.godaddysite.com. And then, just search around, take a look at it. But you can also get a link to the show on there, too. So there's my shameless plug. We good to go now. So the other injury that we did want to talk about, though, is Ryan Fitzpatrick. Now, if you guys have listened to the show last year, you heard me go on a rant about Ryan Fitzpatrick. And,
he loves him.
And how many, how he's got almost as many interceptions as he does touchdowns for his career and, things like that. Now, that being said, this week, week 1, he gets what they call, or what they're thinking is a hip subluxation. Hip subluxation. I said it almost
I'm
perfectly.
proud of you for saying that. Ellen usually can't pronounce first names, let alone subluxation. So.
Yeah, so, I did some research on this, and basically what that means, he got his bell rung, and his hip hurts, and he can't play. So he'll be out 6 to 8 weeks. So, that being said, that's also a huge blow for the
Absolutely it
the
is.
team.
The football team.
The football team. Again, every time we say that, I have to say this. Worst name ever. Please, Washington, change that
Next
name.
to the Packers, though.
Well, no.
Well,
We're not. He's not a Bears fan, so
I'm not a Packer fan or a Bear fan.
Yeah,
so
that was unprovoked. I did not encourage that. I liked it, but I didn't encourage it. But anyway, so so he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. It's going to really tear up the football team, though. I don't know, man. Things are falling apart fast there.
yeah, I think Gibson, McLaurin, Thomas, they're all going to see a slight regression. Now the defense is going to keep them in games.
Yep.
Okay.
They're going to have a tough defense, but look at who their head coach is.
Yeah.
Former Bear.
Yeah.
Defensive player. He's got a defensive mind. Don't give me that. If I could do that look, I would show you, but don't do that again. So, but
Oh, by the way, I want to bring something up. Did you know Ryan Fitzpatrick has the highest ever score on the Wonderlic test?
No, I did not.
He does.
I think he's probably one of the smartest guys in football.
Like he says all the
He's just
time.
not a quarterback.
Trivia question. You know we had the lowest?
No.
Rhymes with Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus Russell.
Rhymes with Jamarcus Russell.
I got nothing.
It's Jamarcus Russell.
Sounds just like it too.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done. That's it.
We're gonna get into our bet predictions here. This one's gonna be a little interesting. So usually we give our own. This Sunday we were watching football together, and a friend.
This actually started before any of the games started at all. So we had a discussion, and
it was prompted by a text from a friend of ours.
Yes. So this guy Aaron sent sent Josh a text asking him if he should start Taylor.
No, it was Nyheim Hines or Saquon.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Saquon or Nyheim Hines. So, Josh, what did you tell him to do?
I told him to start Saquon. You don't bench Saquon. You don't bench a top 15 running back.
Okay.
To a backup.
Okay.
And then what did you say?
I said, I think that he should start Hines.
And who did he start? He started Saquon, I think.
Did he? I don't
know. Yeah, I think Nyheim Hines actually outscored Saquon, but Allen must have fallen and hit his head. Because Allen seems to think, what was the bet that you made with me?
Yeah,
and this is a gentleman's bet. No money or no fantasy entries next year.
So my bet with Josh was that by the end of the season, Jonathan Taylor's either going to be out of the game or sit in the bench or injured or something, whatever the case may be. But Nyheim Hines is going to be the starting running back before the end of this season.
But you didn't say barring injury. You said he's going to outperform him.
Well, he's going to because he's going to be the starter. Yeah, see?
Okay, injury included. Okay, I will take that.
Right,
but
hey, if it's an injury and we say no injury included, then what? It's a draw? No, there must be a winner. We hate
That's
ties.
true. He'll forget. He'll forget the bet anyway come week 4. So
no, I've got it on tape. I've got it on video. Yeah.
Unless I edit it out. But anyway, I think there's no way. Jonathan Taylor is a top 10 pick. He's a franchise running back. They drafted him in the first round.
I understand that.
Nyheim Hines he has no business taking over that starting running back job.
That's why my prediction is bent. But
it is.
I'm going with it.
It's really bent.
I'm going with it. I am going with it. So we've got it on video, right or wrong. I'm sticking with it. So
wrong.
We'll see. I wish we could fast forward. No, I don't want to fast forward. I want to see everything in the season.
I do too.
So,
I do too.
All right. So.
And we are going to have a board up, and we're going to have them posted on our website, our bent predictions.
Yep. You'll be able to see that. It's one of the links. When you go onto the website, it's at the top. You'll see all the links to the different the pages and stuff, and that's one of them, the Bent Prediction 2021. So check it out. It's not quite done. Like I said at the beginning of week 2, it will be on there and it will be up and running. So
before we go, though, I did get a few messages from some of our subscribers today, and they were both hoping that Alan would say Dax instead of Dak Prescott again. I told them I'd get you to try. You did say Marco's Vapor, not Vapors.
Yep.
So I'm proud of you there. They were guessing that you would say Vapors instead.
Yeah.
I'll get him to say Dax Prescott here in the next couple weeks. I promise, guys.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm on it. I'm thinking while I'm talking for a change. It's kind of foreign to me, but the other thing we did want to talk about is we had a contest that we're doing, right? So we wanted you guys to send the funny names of your fantasy teams into us, and we're going to give away a prize for you guys. We want to talk about what the prize is first. It's basically some premium content to our show. It's something that we do. We do have like outtakes and some kind of side notes, serious stuff also that. That I'll be talking about, and Josh may have a couple articles in there too or whatever, but
we are going to do some glamour shots too, so those will be on the website soon.
Yeah. But yeah, we are going to do some different things as far as that goes too, so kind of keep your eyes open for that. Anyway, what was the other thing?
We did find a few team names, though, that we want to
talk
about.
We
funny team names. We do want to read
a few of them off, don't we? Now, some of these are ones that we're considering as far as like a winner, because we did have quite a few entries in. Some of these are other ones that came from like other sources. So, kind of keep your ears open and tell us which one you like to in the comments down below when you like and subscribe the video.
There is one that I heard listening to Sirius XM Fantasy the other day. Yes. That's what Cheese had. And any Office fans out there?
Yeah.
It showed a meme of Michael Scott.
Yeah.
That's what Cheese had. And he was wearing the slice of cheese. Yes, or the triangle of cheese. So.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, so read off a couple of these, Josh.
Okay, this one I really like. OnlyFans. I don't know what that references, of course. Neither does Alan.
But that's the play on Noah Fant.
Yeah, play on Noah Fant.
Yeah. So then ABCD, which is a play on CD Lamb.
Not quite as.
Yeah. Okay, but some of our more favorite ones though.
Baby shark do 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 do. Baby shark do 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 do.
Okay, enough of that. My granddaughter's gonna be watching this going, Grandpa's doing that? She'll probably be out there with.
Alan, this one I'm gonna read it because Alan's he'll never stop talking if he. Alan the family, yes.
Yep, I love that one.
And remember you told your wife the other day about the Buffalo quarterback.
Oh, yeah. We have found the perfect name for a football player. And probably with a name like this, he's got to be one of the best players in the league.
Greatest of all time, yeah.
Yep. So the GOAT, the new GOAT, is Mr. Josh Allen.
Yes.
Yeah. High five.
High five.
Yep.
That was pretty dumb, huh? Well.
That's pretty terrible. But, hey, we didn't claim to be professional. We just claimed to have a microphone and a camera.
Yes. How about Josh Jacobs, Jingleheimer, Schmidt?
Yeah, and then the ever popular Run CMC.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Delvin and the Chipmunks.
Country Roads, Take Mahomes.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
But those are just a few ideas. Yeah. We've got a few that are in the running for our favorite on our comments. So we want to see some more.
Yeah. So send them in. You can send them in to bentffb@gmail.com. We'll still take entries as long as you guys want to keep going with this. We'll kind of keep it going until we find somebody that's really stands out. Some really cool name. And
hopefully we can announce it next week.
Yep.
We're doing another show tomorrow. We're probably not going to announce it by then because we want to go over the entries and thoroughly think them through and get your wife's opinion because that's all that matters in this household, right?
Yes. Can she hear us? If she can't hear us, the answer is no. If she can hear us, the answer is yes. Anyway, So yeah, we definitely want you guys to send us some stuff. Send us your funniest names, even if it's something off the wall, if it's something you think's a little risque, we'll take it. We don't care. Well, we'll take it. I'll read it on the air. YouTube's gonna have to tell me that I can't do something before I don't do something. So
just nothing offensive towards certain groups or
like don't talk about Josh.
Yeah, that's right.
Much.
You can talk about me all you want.
We'll look at each entry and kind of decide how bad it is against Josh. Then we'll decide. But anyhow, I don't think I really have anything else.
I don't either. We do have a show coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, we are going to do our start 'em and sit 'em again this week.
And then by next week, we'll see how bad those picks are.
Yeah. We're going to make them before the Thursday night game because that's how we're wired. No, it's just.
And remember, our start and sit. We're not going to tell you to start Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Or sit the Lutheran high school running back here. You know what I mean? Or
So,
Sister Mary's School for the Blind defense. We're not going to do that.
The obvious ones, you know.
Yeah. Although they could have probably run through the Atlanta Falcons defense this week.
Yeah, no kidding. Man, that's getting bad. But anyhow, don't get me started again. But anyhow, yeah, we are going to do our start 'em and sit 'em tomorrow and have that to you guys. So just keep an eye out for that. And I don't know whether you liked today's show, you didn't like today's show. Either way, you need to like and subscribe down at the bottom. Do that. And if you didn't like it, then just go get bent.
On fantasy football.
Have a good one.